This conference
somebody
will now
talk?
be recorded.
Steve, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, it's a bad connection.
Yeah.
Yes, now I can hear you. Are you losing me?
It's choppy. It's definitely choppy.
Chief, can you hear me?
I can, but it's very choppy.
Copy.
Doc.
All right. Want to turn your phone on? You can phone me. That be an idea?
Steve, I think one of the would be to actually turn off your video. Can you hear us any better, Steve, now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, that's much better.
You can hear me. All right. As long as I can see you, right? All right.
Yes, and you sound clear, and we can.
All right.
Maybe you should just call in too, Tom.
Yeah. Hello, Tony.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Chief,
Welcome.
did you get a complaint over the weekend about a boat hitting the dock, knocking the power out, and knocking the water service out down on the Strand? You're muted.
Hey, Chief, you're muted there.
You're muted.
There we go. No, I don't believe so. I'll have to check the reports, but I didn't see anything come across my desk.
I guess there's an alderman that recently purchased a boat, doesn't know how to captain his boat very well.
Oh, I might have heard about that. That's true.
What are you talking about?
So I think we're just waiting. I think we've got one more. I think our new commissioner, I think, should be joining us today.
Yes, he's on.
Oh, is she? Okay, great. I don't know if Minya is on, though, our newest commissioner.
Someone looks like it's logging. Oh, there she is.
Hi, Minya. Good to see you in person. So I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. And I appreciate everyone joining. Go ahead and I'm going to just read a kind of our process. And dear members of the public, due to the COVID-19 emergency, in order to provide conditions.
Very much.
The city staff and council members, as well as the police
Could
commissioner,
somebody
all being held remotely
get your
pursuant to Executive Order 202.1 until further notice.
videos
The
on?
city of Kingston is using the GoToMeeting platform, which can be accessed by the public through telephone conferencing. I will serve as the organizer for this meeting. The phone number and the meeting access code are made public on the City of Kingston website under the meeting agenda, as well as on the city's Facebook page. I'm just going to go through the following guidelines to keep the meeting respectful and efficient. Note the organizer reserves the right to lock and pause the meeting to remove any disrespectful participants. The public and media will be asked to remain on mute. If the member of the public or media unmutes themselves during a meeting, the organizer has the right to mute this member. There will be no open speaking at this meeting. In lieu of public speaking during the monthly meetings, all comments can be sent in to policecommission@kingston-ny.gov or mailed or placed in the Dropbox outside of City Hall. Again, we will then include those as part of the public record on our website. All virtual meetings will be recorded. At the beginning of each meeting, the organizer will start recording and all attendees will hear the automated announcement. The chief turned that on just a little bit ago. A similar announcement will be made at the end of the meeting when the recording is stopped. The video recording and written transcription will be made public on the City of Kingston website, and you can access it there. With that said, we are going to go ahead and get started with our agenda for today. And so first, I'd like to, start with introduction. We actually just in the last week, and I wanted to just go ahead and give Minya Dejanette an opportunity to go ahead and say hello. Being that not everyone, can see us, I think it's important that as we're speaking, if you could identify who you are when you're speaking, that will help not only for those that are listening in today, but also for the transcription and purpose to be able to kind of know who said what. And so with that, Minya, would you like to say hi to everyone and maybe just do a quick introduction? Oh, Minya, you're not muted, but we can't hear you. Can you hear us okay? Another option, yeah. We could have you call in as another option too, if you have access to the phone too, that could also work. While Minya's getting set up, this is the one benefit of I'll quickly just also go over agenda today. We have minutes, I believe, to approve from the last meeting, which was quite some time ago because we haven't met, during this pandemic timeframe. And then we'll do a report from the chief. And then there's a couple of items that we have, and then there is executive session for the purposes of interviewing a few police officer candidates. And so we'll, that's our agenda, in general today. But I did see, I think, Minya may have rejoined. And so I don't know if you can hear us still, or
Can you hear me?
yes, we can.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. All right.
I want to just go ahead and just say hello to everybody. That would be great.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Sorry, the volumes, I keep hearing, it's just a lot of fuzz, so I don't know if you can hear me. Sorry. Well,
I'm not
I'll
hearing-
talk. Go ahead, sorry.
Yep, Minnie, you should be good. Go ahead now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Sorry I was just a little late. I was just trying to catch up. I'm at work right now. I have met, of course, Noble and Chief Tinty before. Nice to meet everybody else. I am an acupuncturist. I'm originally from the area. I live in Kingston, and I'm really excited to be joining the commission. Happy to answer any questions anybody has if they have them.
Welcome to the board. We're definitely excited to have you on board. And I don't know if any of other commissioners want to just say hello and introduce yourselves.
Can you hear me, Steve?
Yes,
Want me to go?
Yep, you can go.
I'm Brad Jordan, from Herzog in Kingston Plaza, lifelong city resident. Look forward to working with you.
I'm Kendra Van Houten. I'm the minister at Fair Street Reformed Church. Minya, it is good to have you on the commission. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Stephen Grossman. I'm a dentist in Kingston. Welcome.
So I think we're going to first start today by going over any communication like data at this point.
Yeah, Steve, you're going in and out.
I'm going in and out, yes.
No, Steve Noble, mayor. Right? Ken, you're having a hard time too hearing it, right? Yeah.
Go to meeting. So, all right, let's see that again. Chief, do you want to go ahead and do our communications for the day?
I do. I do have some letters of thanks. If you weren't aware, there are quite a few of parades around town, those car parades that went from, in this particular case, JFK did a car parade and we joined in. Our school resource officers have essentially been assigned to the schools, not so much in the normal duties that they've been assigned before, but certainly for them now, they play a different role. Part of this is to make sure that the kids and the teachers and the staff have some assistance when they put these things together. Also, they helped out
Come in.
with a lot of the food distribution sites, so it worked out pretty well.
Don't sit too long.
Thank you for that. Chief, do you have anything that you'd like to report us on as well?
No, I can submit a copy of the sick time report for the last at least 3 months since we haven't had a meeting. I can put that into an email and send that out as well. I know that's a personnel issue, so we can look at that.
Great, thank you. I have a couple of agenda items that I would like to go over briefly with everyone this evening. One of the first is that I would like to make a change to our Kingston Police Department manual. This is a manual that guides the work of our officers in terms of policies, procedures. It also guides the work of the chief. As you all have known for quite some time, the chief has played a secretarial role for our commission and has helped to support that. That is something that has been kind of a long-standing job duty of the chief. While it is not in the city charter, it's actually in the kind of the manual that we set as a Board of Police Commission, that one of the roles of the chief is to serve as the secretary. And so while the chief is not a voting member of the commission or a commission member, he has served in that staff capacity. One of the things that I think that has done, though, is that has created confusion in the community as to the role that the chief plays. And so I would like to make a motion this evening to change our departmental manual to remove the duties of secretary from the chief and to institute a process on our commission where we ourselves as a commission would appoint a vice chair and a secretary. And we would then taking minutes and any communication, related to the police commission, and I think can help really clear up and make a much clearer process. And so I'd like to make that change, and I'd like to hear feedback from the commissioners on that, or if you have any questions on that. But I do think it could help us all. Role of the police chief. Henry Davis, is on. Do you have a question?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, you broke in and out, Steve, so I wanted to make sure there. So you're motioning to have, explain out what the commission would do, have vice chair, secretary?
Sorry, Tony, I didn't hear you on that part.
What your motion was to do was to remove the chief as secretary, but what was the commissioners going to do?
Yes, and so it would be to change the manual where one of the duties of our police chief is to be the secretary, and so we would remove that duty from his job description, and we would elect ourselves a vice chair and a So what I'd be asking for the commission members is one, either someone to make that motion, or I could make that motion and we would need a second. So that would kind of be the process there. About it. From his perspective, it's.
You need somebody to make the motion?
Yeah.
So moved.
I'll second it, Steve.
All right, thank you, Brad. Any questions before I call for a vote on that? If so, you can either raise your hand or, unmute yourself. If not, you can raise your hand to vote aye if you want. Aye. Any opposed? Great. And so I think, Minya, your camera was a little delayed, so we couldn't actually tell whether your hand was up for the yes or the no. We can't hear you again, Minya, unfortunately.
You're all, I got Commissioner Grossman on my cell phone, and he's got a couple of questions before the vote. I'm going to try to somehow. I'm going to try to put you on speaker and see if I can get you close enough so that you can speak. Stand by.
Now?
All right, try now, Doc. Can you hear?
Yes, now I can hear you. All right, I would just like to say, before we vote on the motion,
No.
what would the chief function be on the board?
Can you hear him or no?
No, that's not working. I think, Chief, maybe the best thing to do is for you to either have him type in the chat box what his question is, or you could write in the chat box what his question is, or if he turns off his video and just turns his audio back on, that actually was working pretty well before. And if he unmutes himself, he may actually be able to ask the question directly.
Okay, he's gonna try that now. Okay. Nope, you're still muted. Yeah.
How are we gonna do interviews?
You got your camera back on.
All right. Now you can hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Just the clarification is what is the chief's role going to be on the board?
So he has no role on the board, and I think but his role would be as an invited guest to the commission to be able to give us his report to the chief, to be able to, if we have questions for him about police procedure, to be able to provide us the documentation that we are looking for, everything from employee sick time or related to an ongoing investigation or case that we're looking into. But the chief, really has just played that role, and I think that this will help clarify, his, lack of a formal position or standing on the board, because the board, as it's written in the charter, is really, 4 residents of the city of Kingston plus myself, and that is, the board.
Right.
So this is what this would clarify.
Okay, but I'd hate to call him a guest. I think he's an integral part, because in terms of hiring and firing and reports, and I think he's just more than a guest. I mean, being the secretary is just a title. He doesn't need the title, but I wouldn't call him a guest. I think he's an integral part of the board, and I have no qualms about taking his secretarial role out of his hands. But could we consider him a part of the board or advisor to the board?
So he's our employee. So per the City of Kingston Charter, the City of Kingston Police Chief reports to the mayor and the Board of Police Commissioners. And so,
Right.
So he's our employee. And so I think if we look at it from that perspective, in the essence, if we wanted to, we can direct him as a commission to do X, Y, and Z. And so for our actual police commission meetings, whether we look at him as a guest or a liaison or how we want to look at it, or really he's just a staff person, really his role is very separate than the role that the police commission. If that makes sense.
I'm losing you again. All right. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And
So the motion is?
Yes, the motion was to be able to change our police manual to remove the duties of secretary from the chief of police job description, and then to, at the same time, and it can be a separate motion or the same, but that we should be instituting a process where we are choosing a vice chair and secretary, which again, we don't have written in any bylaws. And so this would be creating those basically, so that we would be able to have someone, one, fill in if I'm not available as the chair, and 2, be able to take the minutes and notes, for the meeting, and also be able to receive communications to be able to track, when someone emails policecommission@kingston-ny.gov, that would be then formal communications that would be reported on by our secretary.
And the mayor and the chief knew about this before the meeting, I presume, right?
I did talk to the chief about it. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Fine. Okay.
Do you have a
I'm
question?
ready.
Was Tony going to say something? But now we lost his picture. So I don't know if we lost him.
All right. So Tony, yep.
I was just saying, for all just to clarify, when we have our committees and meetings, our monthly meetings, department head, which the chief is the head of the police department, are invited if they had information that you need, et cetera, they're invited to the meeting to give that information. So, you might have some meetings where you might not need the chief to be there. And so you don't have to invite him. I was just clarifying.
Yep. Thank you, Tony. That's a very good point. So I think before we were kind of in the, I think I had asked a question about, because of a video error, I didn't hear Minya or see Minya's vote on that. I think I saw everyone else's, but I didn't see a vote. And so we should probably, Minya, have you maybe signal whether you were a yay or a nay on that. Can you hear me? I think we may have lost. Just maybe send Minnie the call-in number because she could call in to the number. Oh, and she may be back.
Says she's back on. Huh?
Yeah. Hey, Minnie, can you hear us? Minnie, we're going to try to give you
The audio is really bad and they keep getting dropped from the call. I don't know if you can hear me.
you're a little choppy, but you're better than you were before, so that's good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I should probably call in then.
Yeah, if you could call in, that would be good. Thanks for everybody for being patient. I'm sorry that it's, you know, we will all be excited when we can actually have in-person meetings again. And hopefully it will be very soon where we'll be able to do this in a way that meets all of the guidelines. So, but thanks for being patient with us all. Appreciate it. I just want to be able to record me. So move on to. Hi, Minnie, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, you sound crystal clear. Wonderful.
Okay, good.
So before we were, did you hear the motion related to the secretary change?
Yes, I did. Was the motion passed?
Well, do you have any questions? And then we would call for a vote on that.
No, I'm ready to vote.
So all in favor on that?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Okay, so that was unanimous. Thank you all very much for that. The next thing that I had on my agenda was to just give you an update related to the Laws and Rules Committee. As I think I've shared with most of you, at this point, there has been a lot of conversation happening with the Common Council over the last year and plus to be able to help improve our policies and kind of operating procedures of the commission. These have
I just opened it. Oops.
these types of you know meetings you know and policies and procedures have, I think, been really fruitful related to that. And the Common Council this evening is going to be reviewing draft guidelines that were created initially by Risa Kingston, and we look forward to I think receiving them. The goal of these policies is to really be able to put in place a lot of the parameters that we have already done, while also improving especially upon our communication. There is, I think, a really good opportunity for us to be able to be much more open and transparent with, the work of the commission and the types of cases that we're reviewing and the number. With the repeal of 50A last week, that really will make our jobs a lot easier. And I know that as a commission, we've talked about 50A and how we have felt it's really hampered our efforts to be able to, clearly communicate with the public with what we're doing. And so everything from, guidance on how we should try to diversify our board and the types of individuals that we should try to find as police commissioners, especially representing kind of the hardest hit community where we do a lot of our policing work and often are underrepresented boards and commissions, to everything from, how we go through the complaint process. And I know that these are all ideas that we've actually all touched on as we've gone through complaint processes, wishing we could improve this or improve that. But this is really one comprehensive document related to all of that. And so my hope is that the Laws and Rules Committee will, make suggestions, changes, any alterations that they feel as though is appropriate, and pass that document, which would then get forwarded to our police commission to be able to implement, and to be able to take those and to implement those into our own policies and procedures kind of guidebook and manual. We may have additions as well that we want to be able to add to further expand on that. And we would then work on that so that as we go, we'll get, I think it will help to kind of break down some of the barriers that have been identified related to the police commission. So we don't have anything to say adopt tonight. I just wanted to give everyone a heads up on what's going on. I will be, on with the Common Council this evening at 6:30 to discuss this matter amongst a whole bunch of other matters. It's going to be a very busy agenda tonight. But does anyone have any questions specifically about that at this point that I can answer?
I don't have a question, Steve, but you had sent the email with the governor's executive order. And I wonder if we shouldn't just enter into the minutes that you would disperse it to all the commission members. And we plan on addressing all the issues that he brought up, all the mandates that he brought up, and then we will take all of them under consideration and work on them in the very near future.
Yes, and so that is actually, item number 4 on our agenda is to actually, to discuss that briefly. And so as I shared last week, the governor issued an executive order related to reforming and recreating our police departments. And so today during his press briefing, he basically said that local communities, just like Kingston, should basically take a blank page and pull it out and start from scratch on how we as a community, envision policing, and to not, just try to nibble around the edges, but to literally start from scratch. And the executive order requires that I convene a group of stakeholders, which includes members of the Common Council and other, interested, residents and, advocates and police members of the police department and district attorney's office. And the executive order is pretty clear on the types of individuals that should be included in this effort. The executive order is also very clear that this needs to be done and approved by local law by April 1st, 2021, or the city will lose all state funding. And so that's so we need to have it done, and we need to get to it. And so over the next couple of weeks, I'll be working to develop how, and we'll roll out that framework, how we would go about trying to find members. I've already started discussions with the leadership of the Common Council on how we will, do this, in a way that make sense between the two branches of government, because we obviously don't want to present something to the Common Council that they haven't been a part of. And so we need to work together on this initiative. And being that it's mandated and there's a time frame, like we really have to we have to get this done, and but we have to do it right at the same time. So I'm sure that there will be more information. The executive order talks about how the state will be providing some guidance on how to go through this process, but as of now, the governor has been very clear, as he's done so far in the last 3 days in his briefing. He's literally counting down the days, and so we have 289 days to get this done. And so that is kind of an update, on that piece. And so as we go forward with both of those initiatives, I will definitely keep everyone updated, and we'll continue to, I'm sure it will be on each of our agenda items going forward. One of the things that is the last thing on my agenda before we get to the review and potential, the application process for potential new police officers, I wanted to just discuss, now that we've made the change to the police manual, and that we've also are interested in having a vice chair and secretary position. What I would like to do is, have folks consider whether you feel as though you could fit into one of those roles. I don't believe we should do that tonight. I think we should, have it on the agenda for our next meeting, so that everyone in the public is aware that we're going to be making those decisions, and choosing as a committee, who would serve in those roles. But so I think that if we could just put that, on our next agenda item, or next month's agenda item, that would be, is that okay with everybody? Thumbs up on that.
All right.
Okay. And so with that said, does anyone have any other, kind of either old business or new business before we get into the go into executive session to do the interview process for potential new hires?
I just have a quick one. I didn't get the document you were talking about with, it sounded like that was given by Cuomo from 50A. I don't know what you were discussing, but I didn't receive it.
Oh, good. So we'll make sure that, yeah, you should have gotten an email from me this afternoon about that.
Okay.
If you didn't,
All right.
check to make sure that we've got your email correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. All right. So I'd like to ask for a motion to enter executive session to discuss employment history of applicants for currently 2 open positions. And I would also like to, as part of that, I would like to be able to ask Davis as part of that application process at the, and then if so, we would have to have a vote of the commission to enter into executive session and to invite our Common Council liaison to join us. And then we will reconvene, after this, if there are individuals that we choose to hire, we'll have to do that in our public session. And so, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn off the recording, and we're going to exit this and then we'll put it back on when we are.
This conference will now be recorded.
we waiting for Steve again?
Yep, we'll give Steve a minute to sign in. Hopefully it goes a little better this time. Well, as part of phase 3, at least, starting next week, we'll be able to have groups of up to 25. And so I think if we can figure out a way to be able to, have up to 25 members of the public and live stream it and have this video recording option at the same time, it may be a better plan.
All right, Mayor, I think you might have to make an executive call here.
I think the chief is on the phone with him now here.
Is it? Ask him if he cares if he logs back in.
Are we also waiting for Tony?
Yeah, I think Tony may have I think he's supposed to be on the laws and rules.
Okay.
Is he?
Is that one also on GoTo?
Yeah. So I'm switching from, this one to the other link. So, but the council, thankfully, they've pretty much figured it out. And thankfully, all of the council members.
Steve.
Speakers, yeah.
So as we move to implement some of these changes, how are you going to structure what we get from the governor's office? You have that till April 2021 timeline. Yep. With what you're getting from the council versus what we also think we want to do ourselves. It's kind of, and what we've already done, and it's still a lot of the stuff at the state level is things we've kind of done. And again, they're moving to our models, what everybody's kind of moving to. Yeah. So it's going to be hard to kind of figure out the timing of all this stuff.
I think it seems as though what the state wants us to do is to basically, take everything that we're working on now, everything that we've done, and everything that we need to do to reform the process, and basically put it all in one document.
Yeah, I just hope you get credit for the work that's being done already.
Yeah. But I think that's one thing that I've learned as mayor is that sometimes that's difficult to do. So we just have to, keep doing the next thing. And
Yeah.
we're back with Steve. All right. So I'd like to call this meeting back to order, and I'd like a motion to exit out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Brad. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, great. So we're now out of executive session, and there are two motions that we'll be able to make, and it's really higher. And so I'd like to entertain a motion.
Try that again, Steve. Mayor.
So we're looking to be able to have a motion to be able to hire an officer. Looking for a motion related to the hiring of a police officer.
He's muting me. I make a motion we hire Kayla Wallace as a police officer.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Now we'll need another motion for our second officer.
I'm losing it.
We need to make a motion for the second officer now.
I'll make a motion for Anthony Feliciano.
Do I have a second?
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's all of our business for this evening. I have a motion to adjourn. Can you go ahead and announce it? Don't go anywhere yet.
I think actually if you all want to do that will help with some of the feedback. There you go. So I sent Mayor Noble a letter, an email this afternoon, actually before I opened all of the barrage of emails that came this afternoon before our meeting, expressing my support for the police reform. And because of the support and wanting to support Mayor Noble in the work and his commission in the work with police reform, I'm going to, I submitted my letter of resignation from the commission. And so it comes because I want to allow, my view and what I shared was that if we're going to live into reform, let's live into reform and allow the commission to even be reformed. And so I want to open my spot up so that Mayor Noble can appoint somebody that can be reflective of the community and join in the conversation as the commission moves forward. So with that, I haven't been working with all of you, Minya. I'm sorry that I won't be able to work with you on the commission, but maybe our paths will cross in the community. And Mayor Noble, I also share that if I can help in any way, even with this, the project and the paper and the document for the governor, you know how to get a hold of me. So you have my support in the work that you're doing. But I just felt, for me personally, that in order for reform to see and take place, to open open up my spot so the mayor can appoint somebody that's reflective of the community.
Do you feel it's a conflict of interest?
No, I don't feel it's a conflict of interest. I shared my personal feel is that we're going to reform how do you take current structure and reform it? I want to be supportive, and it wasn't an easy.
Thank you, Kendra. And I appreciate that. And as we will continue to do, I think that this policy how we go about trying to find additional commissioners that are reflective of those who are have more interactions with our police department and that have different and different stories to tell. And so I appreciate that. And while your time on the commission has been relatively short, the time that you were with us has been wonderful, and we really just in the community, also outside of
So yeah, I look forward to being involved in the way I can. Yes, my accident did not help in the fall with COVID.
Thank you, Kendra, and that's all we had for tonight.
I'm having a real hard time hearing, but Kendra, I certainly enjoyed working with you. But I'm sorry, I didn't really hear a lot of this stuff. It's kind of coming in and out again now.
I think I'll share Kendra's resignation letter with everyone, and I think you'll. And Kendra, if you want to reach out directly to some of the commissioners.
Yeah, certainly enjoyed serving with you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I can send out the letter to the commissioners if you want. So.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. All right, everybody. Good seeing everybody. Minya, thank you for your first meeting. I promise they won't all be this long. But thank you.
Did you hear me, Minya? Welcome.
Okay. All right.
Kendra,